Hi everyone, Catherine here from Ink Fingered Cat. I'm back with a Make It Masculine project. I did not manage to do this in November, so it is December, and I will try and do 2 Make It Masculines this month, and then at least I've done the full year. Do you know, you sometimes look at your video and you go, that wallpaper piece is upside down. That's the first time I've noticed. Yeah, the shadows are all at the top, not at the bottom. Never mind. This is only a temporary thing anyway. I don't think I'm going to keep with having the wallpaper there. I don't know. Right, Make It Masculine. Totally and utterly diverged then. I decided to use Creative Stamping Magazine stamps, but to colour it in a non-wintry way. To be honest, it isn't specifically telling me it's a winter stamp, a winter image, because there are pine trees there and it's the only trees that you can see, so you can't tell if the trees that lose their leaves in the winter have lost their leaves or not, because there's none there to see. So you could colour this in a wintry way, or you could colour it in a summery, springy kind of way, or even an autumnal way, because the only trees that are there are pine trees. It is part of obviously a wintry stamp collection, although there are some non-specific wintry stamps. They don't have to be Christmas, for example. Now you'll see there I had masked off a border area on my watercolour paper, and I have masked it off with just some washi tape that I stuck to my pyjama bottoms so that I know it was not going to pull up the fibres of the paper. And then I'm using some really old pan watercolour paints. I just fancied watercolouring. Now, hindsight is a wonderful thing. I thought I'd be all right with the fact that the image sort of stopped like 1.5 centimetres away from the edge. And what I should have done was just drawn in the rest of the image at this point before I'd started painting, but I didn't. And so I do end up messing a little bit around. Once I've cleaned everything up and got rid of everything, I then end up going back in and drawing bits and then painting again. So yeah, hindsight's wonderful, so that's why I'm telling you this. But I am basically I am not a watercolourist by any stretch of the imagination. During COVID lockdowns, we used to do the, what's his name, Matthew Palmer watercolour painting stuff on a Sunday. I used to buy that, and we'd do it as a family, which was quite good fun. So I did learn some tips and tricks along the way. I can't say I'm using any of them here. I am literally just picking up colour and putting it pretty much where the line art suggests that there might be a shadow. I'm doing it darker, and then that's basically it. I'm just mixing some colours up. There's nothing clever about what I'm doing or particularly difficult. So you'll see here I'm doing a really good job. I'm cleaning my brushes out, which is very unusual. I don't currently have a water pot on my desk. My water pots tend to get disgusting because I don't clean them out. So I've actually decided not to have one temporarily. So everything goes away, I did contemplate putting the stamping directly onto the image, which is why I brought the stamp wheel back in, and then I decided not to. And then the more I kept looking at this image, I was thinking, I don't know. So I took a foiled sentiment. This is a Spellbinders set, and you can see there I have done a load out of scraps at some point and cut them all out and stacked them, and they're ready to go then. For those who haven't been watching my videos, I do this a lot. I will do a whole load of sentiments in one go, or a whole load of die cutting of scraps in one go, and then it's just easy to then grab and go when I want one. Sometimes the right colour isn't there, so I do have to do one from scratch, but most of the time I don't. So you'll see there I took a uni pen and I just did a little bit of scrappy looking line art. That's just enough to continue that mountain kind of area. But you can see here now, because I hadn't got the same colour paint swash, because obviously I just mixed colours as I went along, I had to go in and sort of like fiddle around a little bit to add that colour in, because it just looked like it was just added on as a little blob. And then I did decide I would heat dry this. Now, my heat tool is one from Wow, as you can see, because it says it on the side. It has 2 speeds. So it has a very hot speed, which is brilliant for your heat embossing, and the other speed is perfect for drying watercolours. To be honest, I don't use it very often to do drying of watercolours, because I don't do watercolours that often. I did do quite a few in 30 days of Christmas card making, where I ended up painting for some reason. So maybe this is the theme of November, December, is watercolouring. Right, I used a little bit of a scrap of very old ribbon. I now can't remember the name of that colour. Oh, it was like a really nice navy, but it wasn't navy. It's got a really nice colour tone to it. I can't remember what colour it was. It's an old Stampin' Up colour anyway. And then I fiddled around a lot with my punch in order to create a little banner or label for my sentiment to go on. At first I made it too long. I don't know why it kept sticking. It's very strange. But then, yeah, perfect for my little label to go on, my little sentiment to go on. I then put far too much glue on the sentiment, so I do have to tap quite a bit off, get very mucky. Fortunately, there was a wet wipe to the side of me, so I could just clean my fingers off quickly before I glued everything in sight. And then I went to glue this down, thought, no, I need something dimensional. So I added my little adhesive foam tabs, which were slipping and sliding all over the place because I'd obviously added that glue. And then I decided to mount it on a kind of creamy, sandy colour. This is definitely Kingston Crafts cardstock. It's from their pastel cardstock collection, of which there is so much in that box. I'm not going to run out of that anytime soon, even though I'm using a lot of it up. So yeah, really generous. So I don't even know if that's still available on Hobby Maker in the UK. It probably is available via Kingston Crafts themselves or on HSN. I think they sell it in America. But yeah, fabulous value for money, and it's lovely cardstock. But yeah, after I'd done that, I thought, oh, I need to bring a bit of brown back into the front, so I decided to bring in that little bit of wax thread. And because I was lucky that I'd not pressed down too hard, the adhesive wasn't completely stuck on that label, and I could pull it up with enough to get that ribbon twist underneath and to add a little bit of glue to kind of keep it in place. And now I've chosen this kind of turquoisey colour for my card blank. I just thought it brought the blue out in the picture a little bit more. Sticking it down with my ATG. Now later on I do go and add a little insert into my card blank, because we all know I don't like a coloured card blank to write on. I love a coloured card blank, so I just pop a sheet of white as an insert inside. And that is my Make It Masculine done a few days late. A few days late because 30 days of Christmas card making took over, and then for the last week and a bit I've been quite poorly with some internal digestive issues, let's describe it like that. So feeling well enough to have made this card today, so I'm feeling good. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please do subscribe. Plenty more videos coming up, loads planned for next year. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Till next time, bye bye.